purposes. Okay.
Okay, we used to have a monkey like that wrapped around a.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyway, hi.
All right. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Shall we get into the interview then?
Yes, please.
All right. I think I'm gonna go down the questions, and then if I come up with any other questions or whatnot, we can go through that as well. So first question, where are you or your family originally from?
Well, my parents were from Turkey. They immigrated to Cuba. I was born in Cuba, and then I left Cuba in 1961 and arrived in the US. And so I have been here. I just was figuring out next, it'll be about 60 years in a couple of months.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So from Turkey to Cuba, and you were born in Cuba?
Yeah.
And then you left in 1961, and you've been in the US for 60 years. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Next, what is the story of your name? Or are you named after someone in the family?
Yes, my dad's name was David, and his father's name was Abraham. So my Jewish name is Abraham. My
Mm-hmm.
non-Jewish name is, in fact, it started as Alberto,
Oh,
and
okay.
then it got shortened to Albert, and now everybody calls me Al.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right. One important moment in your life.
Oh, I have many, so it's kind of hard.
Mm,
I would say the most memorable, I guess, is the death of my mother when I was 11 years old.
mm. At 11. Wow. All right. Yeah. And that I'm sure really affected you deeply.
Yeah, it did. Although I made it, and
Yeah.
but it's if somebody says, "What was the most?" and traumatic is a word, but it's also it's both traumatic and significant, memorable. You name it. Is the
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. All right. Next is, what are you most passionate about?
oh, I would say the well-being of my family.
It's cool. It's cool. All right. That's good. That's good. What are any hobbies that you have?
Oh, I have had many in the world in over time, and I have many now.
Mhm.
Um, I did a lot of hiking. Um,
Hiking?
yeah, I still do some. I lived in Colorado for a while, did a
Oh,
lot of
cool.
hiking there, and now I walk the dog twice a day, half a mile, and I go on hikes when I can. That's a long. And my most recent one, it's I've been doing some woodworking, making things with wood,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
in between that, I've done a lot of gardening and soap making, candle making. Yeah, I mean that's it's. I get bored easily after a while, so I have to learn something new.
Yeah. Yeah, I was into woodworking for a while as well. It's
Hmm.
pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
I got a table saw, router table, learning to do dados and um, what do you call them? Joints, dovetail joints.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's cool. All right. Next is a message you live by or want to share with others.
A message I live by, or a value I live by, or
Yeah. Yeah.
um, try to be kind to everyone you meet, even if you don't particularly like them.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah. That is a very good one. Very good. Next is what did you want to be when you grew up and why?
Right now, I just want to be healthy.
Yeah, right.
No, I started as a kid. I wanted to be a medical doctor,
Mm,
but pretty early on in my teenage years, I wanted to become an engineer, and I did become an electrical engineer. And
oh,
so
that's cool. You lived up to that one. That's cool. All right. Next, what special foods and recipes do you associate with your family and family celebrations?
well, I'm not a lot into food, so I don't. I have to think about that.
Mhm.
I would say, ask me the question again, the wording, so I can answer the particular.
Any special foods or recipes that you associate with your family or any family celebrations? Like
Well,
maybe some tradition or something.
I think maybe the thing that I resonate to with your question is some Cuban foods that I remember, and so I think in Cuba we used to call them. Well, these are plantains that
Oh yeah.
you right now they're calling them tostones generally, which is basically you take a green plantain, you cut them into slices that are about 3/4 of an inch thick. So you chop out and then you fry them a bit until they get a little bit golden, and you take them out of the oil. You put them between, and there we used to use brown paper bags. Put them
Mm.
between, and then you smush them,
Oh
and
wow.
then they're squished, and so it's like a compression fracture on a vertebra. I hate to say
Mhm.
that. So what happens is it gets squished, and some of the innards kind of ooze out, and the outside it's already somewhat crispy. And then when it's flat, basically not really flat, but maybe a 1/4 inch, then you fry them again. And so what comes out, and then at that point you wait until they get light brown, and then when you take them out, then they cool, put some salt, and what you end up with is a very crunchy outside and a nice chewy inside, and it's very tasty. But
Wow, that sounds really good.
you have to get the plantains to be really green,
Hmm.
and of course latkes. Everybody knows latkes.
Yes, of course. That sounds good. And did you learn to make that with from your family?
I guess so. I learned it somewhere. It must have been there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That sounds good. All right. Share your connection with to Or Shalom and how long you've been a member.
I joined when I arrived in California. This is about 5 years ago, and we joined almost right away. And you probably know that we have a connection with my daughter being the rabbi.
Yes.
But I also want to tell you that one of the things I thought you might ask me was, what does it mean to you to be Jewish or to be a Jew? And I would say belonging is the answer. Belonging
Belonging.
to the people, to my people. And
Yeah.
I'm not particularly observant when it comes to rituals and rules and regulations of kashrut, and I do some, but not. And but the thing that I can say is that over my life, wherever I've been, and I've been in many places and moved around quite a bit, it's always been very nice to have that feeling of welcoming and belonging to the Jewish communities. So that's the background of, even if my daughter had not been the rabbi, is what I'm trying to say. I would
Yeah.
have, I would have sought a community. We used to belong to a Reconstructionist synagogue or congregation in Denver before we moved here, and so that would have been a natural for us to seek it and find it.
Right. That's really cool. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, how the Jewish community is just very welcoming. And it feels nice. Yeah.
Especially when you're in a new place, you don't know anybody, you need help, you need support, you want company, all of that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, that must feel good, especially like moving from somewhere else into the United States, like finding that here.
Oh, yeah. And that's a very long story. You don't have time for that.
Yeah, okay. All right. I guess you kind of added, but is there anything else that you would like to ask, or if anything that you want to share? Anything else?
Yeah, but at some point I will tell this story about this belonging that I mentioned to you,
Mm-hmm.
and how I have experienced it I'm about to become 75 years old in a couple of months. So
Oh,
it's through all my bumps in life and good times as well.
yeah,
That has been a very important thing, but I think it's too deep and too long.
yeah. I think we can find time for that though. I think that would be really interesting.
How about some other time?
Yeah,
No,
yeah. I mean, yeah, we can figure something out for another
be
time.
my ghostwriter. I'll let you be
Yeah,
of this
right.
little short story.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Um, well, that's all the questions I have here. Um, I think you have a very interesting story. I think it's very cool how your family was moving around and then you eventually came here and you've been here for a very long time now. Um, lived in Colorado and California.
In New
Um,
Jersey and New York,
wow. Yeah.
Florida.
So many places. Wow. That's incredible. Yeah, I've only ever known what it's like to live in California.
Oh, this place.
Yeah,
And
which isn't bad.
you did well.
Yeah, yeah.
So did
Um,
I, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
right. Um, so I don't know if there's anything else you
No,
want us to talk about.
that's good.
You think it's good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So what are you going to do with this?
I think we have a meeting with the rest of our teen group later today, and I think it's basically just we recognize that Or Shalom has a lot of people with different stories around the world, and from around the world, that I think everyone has an interesting story to tell. And the more we hear about that, the more perspectives we get from everyone. And we can learn a lot
Yeah,
from everyone that shares that.
everybody has a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Look forward
Bye.
to seeing you another time as well.
When we can see people in person,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Eventually, hopefully.
You
Yes.
stay healthy.
Yep. You too. Stay healthy.